So it's an honor for me to introduce you to Judith Smith, who is a founding member and artistic director of Axis Dance Company. So Axis is a revolutionary collaboration between dancers with and without disabilities. And Judith has earned an international reputation as a pioneer in the field of physically integrated dance. Upon taking over artistic leadership of the company in 1997, Judith began commissioning works by some of the nation's best choreographers and launched Dance Across Community Education Outreach Program. And the Axis Dance Company, under Judith's loving direction, changes the way that people think about dance, disability, and what's possible for people with disabilities forever. Now, so I want to tell you something about Judith. Judith did not grow up and plan to be a change agent. She self-defines herself as an activist, but almost by default. Judith was a champion equestrian, and at age 17, she became disabled in a car accident. But she transferred her passion for riding to dance, and after discovering contact improvisation in 1983. So Judith is a self-defined, rabid environmentalist and animal rights activist, and she rescues retired thoroughbred racehorses through the use of extensive national networks. So of course, Judith has won, and the company, many awards, including the Isadora Duncan Dance Award for Sustained Achievement in 2014, and the company has toured extensively throughout the United States and abroad. Axis also dramatically expanded its education and outreach programs by creating Dance Access for Adults and Dance Access for Kids, and her hard work allows us to see the beauty in difference. Let's warmly welcome, with deep appreciation, Judith Smith.
Ta-da! Thank you. It's really nice to be here. And you know, I was a hyperactive, overachieving 17-year-old when I became other through acquiring a disability. And as Shakti mentioned, I became an activist by default, and I found dance also by default. I found dance in 1987 when our first director, Thais Mazur, got a group of us together with and without disabilities to explore dance. And at that point, we didn't know anyone else was doing this. This was before the internet, so some of you can relate to starting things and before the internet allowed us to do the kind of networking that we are. But I think what happened for us was that we really got hooked. We started with the idea of doing one dance piece, and we got so excited by the innovation and by moving together and just exploring movement and what it meant to be in different bodies. We performed our first piece in 1988 at a dance festival here in Oakland. Axis is proudly an Oakland-based company. Yeah. And what happened that really kind of surprised us was the dance community got immediately very intrigued by what we were doing. The Bay Area has a very cutting-edge dance scene. And I think the disability community got hooked too. Because up to this point, it was very unusual to see anyone disabled on stage, and to see people with and without disabilities collaborating as equals on stage was, and I think in some ways still is, revolutionary. We got together to create dance. That's really what we wanted to do. What we didn't realize was that there was going to be a social and political implication to what we did. And I think Axis has really embraced that. We are a dance company. We are not a disabled dance company. We're not a wheelchair dance company. And you know, I think we bring visibility to disability, and obviously I'm very visible by nature of running around in 200 pounds of metal, but there's also an invisibility that goes along with being disabled. And I think what happens for us when We go on stage and we give people the opportunity to look at us and stare at us because, we're not supposed to look at those disabled people. All of a sudden, people have that chance to just look and see. And we often have people say, well, I didn't know what to expect. It was the first time I came. And I just didn't see the disability after a while. Or I didn't see the wheelchair. And I think what they're trying to say is it became okay. And for me, I love to see disability. I love to see the way wheelchairs move. I love to see the way we move with and without our non-disabled dance partners. And I think both sides of the coin are equally important. And we couldn't do what we do without both sides of that coin, without people with disabilities moving and without our non-disabled dancers. And I really appreciate, that people begin to see us as just one of the gang on earth. But I want them to see how the wheelchairs move, and I want them to see how non-disabled dancers partner with us. And I think what we realized and what really excites me and keeps me just ultimately interested in this is the potential for movement is radically expanded. We can do things that a dance company of people on feet don't get to do, and they don't get to experience. And in doing so, we perform for about 8,000 kids a year. And we go into elementary schools and junior high, high school, and we also bring them into theaters to see us. And the thing I love, especially about working with the young kids, is they haven't had their minds set yet. So we go in and they get to see this incredible collaboration of people who are really different, and they get to see the potential. And I know that in that audience, unfortunately, there is going to be a kid who has a disability or is going to become disabled because it's just one of those things that is not discriminatory, and anybody can join this form of other at any time, and you might not have much say about it. So, I want us to be able to give people a different view of what ability is, a different view of what dance is, and a different view of what human potential is. And Access Mission is changing the face of dance and disability. And I feel with this form of dance that you really do have to see it to believe it. It's not like ballet. You can't just kind of conjure up an image and assume, that when I say I'm a dancer, that people are going to automatically have an idea of what I do. Usually the face goes blank and they ask me if I can walk. So I think what we're going to do now is just show you a film that we made with 8 dancers, and it really is just an exploration of what it means to be human together and what it means to move together. And then at the end of the day, we're going to close with a short excerpt of a new piece that will be premiering in Oakland, June 12th through 14th. And it is a piece called To Go Again that's choreographed by Joe Good. And it is about the experience and the resiliency of veterans. And I feel like it's very important for us to take a look at veterans in this world, and it's our way to just try to bring voice to something that doesn't have enough of a voice in this country. Thank you.
I have a sister in Canada and one in Switzerland. They were both saying there was something wrong with the place she was staying because she just wasn't getting any better. So we hired some healers, psychic healers, to help clear the energy of the space. Psychic, yes. One of them said that if she's screaming so much, it means that she's still in the accident, and she hasn't come out of the accident yet. Wait. And you need to have somebody tell her that she's not in the accident anymore, that she's safe. I didn't have anybody to tell her because, people don't believe in that kind of stuff. So I was calling her twice a day. And I remember it was the 3rd of July, 2005, and I was telling her on the phone, listen, You're not in the accident anymore. You're safe. Nobody's going to hurt you. You're back in the United States, and you're okay. And I said that 6 times. And she stopped the screaming, and she said, okay. like nothing you can expect. It's like nothing you can really explain. 8 years out, and we're getting better at not crying when we talk about it.